It's Monday, Memorial Day in America, a work day in Canada, and I'm the Prez. This is PuckTime. We've got Alex Badass Smith with us, Carmine, Bianco, and Carm, hell of a party on Saturday night.
Yeah, you definitely know how to throw a party, my friend. It was the Prez's 50th birthday. He rented out a pretty hip place that had TVs on, and everyone was like 70 people, even though the party is only supposed to have 70 people.
Did you hear that in my speech?
Watching the Raptors game. It was hilarious. And then Prez does his speech, of course, and he's like, I'd like to welcome all 50 of you, because he booked it for 50 and 70 show.
Nice.
It was the best, but it was a fantastic party. The food was phenomenal. In his true Prez way of doing things, open bar, my friend, not a cash bar, an open bar. Fantastic.
That's always awesome.
Yeah, that's true. It was a fun night. I got to bed at 5:30, but I've recovered, and now it's time to talk hockey. One game tonight. Tomorrow there's a full slate, 12, I think. We're almost at the end, boys. I don't know if this will go 7, but at the most, we got 7 games in front of us. We did a preview show on Friday, I think it was. So anybody who wants to check that out, we go a bit in depth on series prices and whatnot. We'll talk a little bit about that, but let's focus on the game tonight. We've had a big line move already. It was minus 140 for the Boston Bruins. It's now minus 150. But more importantly, before I went to bed last night, it was under 5.5, minus 140. Now it is under 5 plus 115. There's clearly a lot of money coming in on the under. And Boston is minus 1.5 plus 180. Alex, I'm going to go to you first, brother. What do you like in this game? And then we'll talk really quickly again about, a little bit of future stuff.
I like the over here in this, and I also like Boston in regulation, but I really like this over now that it dropped. And we mentioned this on Friday about how we could see this number possibly drop down to 5. St. Louis and Boston having, great goaltending right now. But these are two teams that we've seen play a lot faster than they did in the regular season. And I think 5 is a number that they could easily eclipse going back and forth. Boston's had 10 days of rest. St. Louis had 6 days of rest. So that should almost possibly negate itself. I don't think one layoff's going to be just as bad as the other. So I really like that over here at 5. But I also like Boston. We haven't seen a lot of overtime games in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mentioned that on the Friday show as well. I think we're going to see Boston win this one at home in regulation.
Carm, you're going to tell us about how the Blues are going to win.
No, not exactly. But listen, they're a quick starter. They've scored 5 times in the opening, or 6 times in the opening 5 minutes of the game, and won each and every one of them. But then you counteract that with the Bruins are 11-0 when leading after 2. That just shows you how could they shut it down in the third. I love this game. It's like the Gloria versus Dirty Water. Which theme do you like in this one? The last time these teams played in the Stanley Cup, a statue was born. The old Bobby Orr flying through the air. Is it Zdeno Chara this time flying through the air? They don't have that much metal, but you know what? I like the Bruins in game 1. I'm not looking at the whole 11 days off. Blues had 6 days off. The whole rest thing. You look at like Anaheim and New Jersey. That's the last time, I think, in 2003 where teams had this much rest and it still went 7 games. Jersey won the first 2 at home in that series, and they had the shorter of the rest, I think 5 or 6 days. I still think these teams are going to come out. It's going to be a tight one from the get-go. Whether we get over that total of 5.5, I'm not really sure, but I like the Bruins in game 1.
He's Carmine. I'm the Prez. Alex with us. It's puck time. Only a few more shows left on the year. No Morning Joe today. No NBA tonight. The first game is on Thursday. There will be an NBA Finals preview show tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. And today as well, we do have First Pitch with Teddy Covers and Dave Koken. Alex, here's what I am betting. I have a 5-unit play tonight. It's up at WagerTalk.com. It's $9 Mondays at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo. You can get my play for $9. But rather than talking about the game and my bet tonight, I find this to be an interesting bet. In the first period 3-way, I like a tie at plus 155, and you can get a tie. Look, I don't think we're going to see 2-2 in the first period, but 0-0 gives us that 155 ticket, and 1-1 gives us that 155 ticket. I actually like that with under 1 at plus 300. It gives you a chance to cash both tickets. If it's 0-0 at the end of the first, you cash both. And if it's 1-0, you only lose 1. I do not see a 2-0 first period. And if it's 1-1, you lose the under, but you cash the plus 155. So basically, plus 155, tie in the first period, and under 1 at plus 300 gives you a couple of shots at making some decent money, because 1-1, you're still cashing a plus 175 ticket. So you're making 75 because you're losing that 1 unit on the under. That's where I'm headed. I think it's going to be I think if there are going to be goals, they're going to come a little later. I know that they're going to come out flying tonight, but they'll adjust pretty quick, and I think that the remaining 15 minutes of the first period will be regular hockey.
Yeah, and I can see that. And one thing that's interesting to note is Boston is 5-0-4 in the first period at home in 9 home games during this postseason. So they've won or had the lead in 5 of those games, and they've been tied in 4. And they haven't trailed in the 20 minutes at home this postseason. So that's a decent price there. Like you said, riding that tie or possibly even looking at Bruins first period.
Carm, any tricky bets? Who's going to score?
Not really tricky bets. If you like the Bruins to win this series, and obviously it starts with tonight, you can get Bruins never to trail in the series. I think we talked about this on Friday. Bruins never to trail in the series at plus 150. And if they win tonight, it's awfully tough unless they split at home and then lose game 3 to trail in this series. So, that's not a bad bet. I like Pasternak to score tonight, plus 170. It's not a bad price. Pretty much Bergeron, Pasternak, and Marchand are all in that range, plus 170, plus 180. Tarasenko's not bad. Tarasenko's been a nice little run of late. Yep. So you can't really go wrong, taking these guys who are playing really well right now.
Carm, I know you like the Blues. You're holding a ticket on the Blues. You like Boston to win Game 1. Boston winning Game 1 and the Blues winning the series is plus 450. What do you think of that bet?
Well, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's not to say, listen, the Blues have been around. They've been behind. Series before. I don't. It's now that said, talking about my future, and I have some good money on it. I am hedging my bet out because at the end of the day, any smart gambler is going to guarantee themselves a profit. Allegiance to a team only goes so far. Money rules at the end of the day. But it's one of those things. The Bruins they're just playing so well right now and playing so well at home. I think it's a perfect Stanley Cup final because you have the Blues are playing so well. You have the Bruins who are just playing phenomenal hockey since that Leaf series. Nothing seems to have phased this team. They're just winning. And it's I don't know. You know what I mean? As good as the Blues looked in the last series, they were playing the San Jose team that were in the last couple of games had to deal with injuries. But that came from wearing them down. They literally hit those defense every chance they got, and they wore that team down. I don't think they can wear down the Bruins. So that's a factor in this series. And this is why I like the Bruins not only to win tonight, but likely win this series.
Alex, St. Louis is plus 135 to win the series tonight. Assuming they lose tonight's game, I think that number is going to be somewhere around, what, plus 190?
Yeah, easily could be. And depending on how, if they get blown out, might even see it go, in the $2 range possibly. So, if you think that St. Louis can lose this game but still hang on and make it through the series, then wait and possibly get a better price going in the game too.
Well, the reason I asked you that is the Bruins win game 1 and win the series is plus 100. You put $100 down on that bet. You can literally jump back in next game at plus 200 on St. Louis and put yourself in a no-lose situation. Plus, you have a real opportunity for St. Louis to bounce back as they do, as they have all playoffs, and win that game too, dropping it back down and really being put in a triple hedge environment.
No, yeah, absolutely. And that's, like I said, there's so many ways to go about grabbing a series price without just grabbing the outright, laying $1.50 with Boston, or even, like you said, get creative and wait, for a better price than just 130, 135 with St. Louis.
Carm, any other bets you're making?
No, the only other thing I thought was, in all likelihood, which I may play today, is the series to end in 6 games.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a flyer, but it really isn't a flyer, because the series to end in 6 or 7, with either team winning, is plus 200 on both of them. So I'll likely take to end in 6, because I don't think this is a sweep by either team. I don't think it's 5 games by either team. I think it goes 6 or 7. So I'll err on the side of caution. I'm going to go with 6 games here.
I mean, you're literally in a situation where there are bets where if St. Louis wins from behind, they're plus 350. You could literally make that hedge right now, if you will. I mean, it's not a real hedge because you won't win any money at plus 100 on Boston winning tonight and winning the series. But it's a break-even proposition, taking Boston to win tonight and Boston to win the series, and St. Louis to win from behind at plus 350, but it ultimately all comes down to Boston winning tonight. That's where we're all at, right? Boston's winning tonight?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, when you take one of those, a bet like that, you're going on the premise that the Bruins are winning tonight, or else it's essentially what they call like a Polish middle, where there's something that can literally screw you from happening, right? It's like taking St. Louis plus 1.5 and the Bruins money line, or the other way around, where a 1-goal game literally screws you. I think you know what I mean, right? So, the Bruins minus 1.5 and the St. Louis money line. A Bruins 1-goal win and you lose both bets. Those are the Polish middles per se. So, it's the Bruins. I like the Bruins tonight to win. I'm just hoping this is a good series. The longer the series, the better it is. The NHL playoffs have been phenomenal from the get-go. A lot of surprises, and having a 6 or 7 game series, I think benefits all of us. It's great.
He's Carmine B. Alex Smith. I'm the Prez, and that, my friends, is PuckTime. Make sure to check out First Pitch today with myself, Teddy, and Dave. No Morning Joe. Boys, it's been a pleasure. We will talk on Wednesday. I assume Game 2 is on Wednesday.
Yes.
By then I will have played my hockey game, and we've won 1 game out of 4 this summer. So, yeah, we suck. I don't play D hockey anymore, boys.
It's like, do you guys have, how many players are actually on that team? I'm just curious.
On my team, I have 14 players, and we have been relegated to E hockey. So, yeah, no longer am I a D League hockey player. I'm now an E League. And so, there is actually no F. So I'm officially at the bottom of the rung. Boys, great show. I got to go tape first pitch. We will speak on Wednesday.
All right, good luck, guys.
All right, see you.
Later, boys.